Hello everyone, this is Alex Daner. This is the video reflection assignment. First thing I wanted to talk about was the last assignment we did was the resume assignment. Uh, I really enjoyed the assignment because I've written some resumes in the past just for other classes, and they didn't go into as much depth as I should have, or some of them were just very airy and not very helpful. But in the book, it talks about snap judgments, which is one of the main things, um, being part of that, and that is something that I would take into my resume, being the first thing people see, making that snap judgment off the top of their head. That's something that I hadn't thought about before or looked into. Um, Another one of the things I wanted to talk about was the co-cultures, and this relates to me a lot because on the swim team here, we have people from all over the world. We have guys from Poland, we have guys from Austria, Uruguay, South Florida. So that it's interesting to get to know these people and have these people become some of your best friends. And you never know their cultures. You don't know like their languages and stuff like that. Like the things that they do, the way they communicate is very different in most cases. Um, and that's pretty interesting to talk about and learn about, and it also helped me professionally, if I want to go into any type of job that requires me to look outside of the United States, any global job at all. Um, the one thing that we talked about within co cultures, um, not just other nationalities or people like that in those different groups, but you create your own amongst your peer group. And on a swim team here, we create our own culture that many people don't understand. Waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to dive in a very cold pool and stare at a black line for hours is pretty hard for people to grasp uh, and to do it really. And so it takes a certain type of individual to become a swimmer and create that group setting that we have. The next couple of things I wanted to talk about were richness and leanness. This video, we don't get very many, or at least I don't give very many non-verbal cues. There's not much going on around me. I'm just in my room. Um, I don't do very many hand signals, so I guess that would be leanness on my part. Not the richness that I was talking about that I lack. I could use more in a professional setting, or less to if I was trying not to buy a product. You send negative verbals, non-verbals, um, and that's a lot very interesting to me actually. Body language is very interesting to me and how people present themselves. Um, there's some good TED Talk videos on nonverbal communication. But other than that, social media. Our first assignment was about social media, and I am not a fan of social media. I try not to use it at all. I only have a Facebook for our men's, swimming and diving group. Other than that, I wouldn't have one. I don't have Twitter downloaded on my phone. I have a Twitter, but I don't have it downloaded. And I don't really like communicating with people over a computer, over a text or whatever. Even a phone call sometimes is very impersonal to me. I'd rather, hey, you want to go grab some Dunkin' Donuts? We'll go grab a coffee and talk about whatever. That means way more to me. I feel like everybody else would agree with that. That means way more to people than a text. or a call. And I do realize there are people that enjoy, getting that text or getting a phone call or whatever. But I am not one of those people. And lastly, the thing I wanted to talk about was self-disclosure. Self-disclosure is a very fine line when it comes to it. Um, Many people have a tough time in our day and age with so much information being out there. Everybody, knows this about this. I can I can check my Twitter and, find out the news before the news does. So it's very hard for people to really self-disclose to other people, but I do believe it's a necessary evil. You can't keep things, stuck inside of you. And it just builds on itself and builds on itself and gets worse and worse. You need to, let it out, talk to people. It's a process of grieving that a lot of people don't realize that, and that's where a lot of people struggle. But it just kind of depends on who you are. You need to find that fine line with who you're with and who you're talking to, and then you gotta push the line sometimes. Sometimes you need to step back from it.